What's going on, guys? What's going on, Chai Squad? What's going on, everybody? So, the OKC Thunder win game 4 against the Pacers. And we know game 5 is Monday, is game 5. And now the Pacers are going back to OKC. Tied 2-2. And here's what I gotta say about that. Is that this game could go either way now because you got Shea scoring 30, 35, and OKC is 18-2 on the road now. OKC is 18-2 on the road. And what I gotta say about this is that you let OKC win the first quarter. You let the Pacers win the second quarter. You let the Pacers win the third quarter. Then you let OKC dominate the full fourth quarter. And let me say this, is that both of these teams are making this NBA series interesting. I don't know why a lot of people are saying, well, this NBA finals isn't interesting because we don't have LeBron in the finals. We don't have KD in the finals. We don't have Steph in the finals. We don't have Giannis in the finals. I get all of that. Like, we're about to see our 7th different champion of the NBA Finals. And I'm just going to say this. Is that both of these teams deserve to be here. Don't get me wrong on that. Both of these teams deserve to be here. And I do think, like, OKC had to win this game. I think we've seen OKC, like, come back in games, and I'm just going to say this, is that with OKC, OKC, the one thing that I like about their team is that they have good chemistry. They have good chemistry. And with OKC, like, you have a team that had the best record all year long, that is trying to win a championship. And we can't deny that if OKC wins the championship, this is their first championship since the Supersonics. And that's a whole different story for another day about the Supersonics. But I do think that if you have Shea scoring 30 or more points, Shea's going to have to do that. The only thing, Shea plays OKC needs to let Shea play at a pace where he can get 30. But we all know that Indiana is going to play at a pace where it's more like we see Halliburton share the basketball. We see Halliburton getting the type of shots that he wants because Halliburton is a passer. He likes sharing the basketball. And you want your teammates to get shots up, and you want yourself to get shots up in a game. And we can say that Shai won the MVP this year. And if he wins the championship, he's going to be finals. Like, we've seen Shai go off for 30 before. We've seen Shai go off for 30 before. And that layup in the game for Halliburton was amazing to see. It was amazing to see. And I know that some are going to say, well, we've seen layups like that before, or we've seen different layups like that. I get that you're going to say we've seen layups like Halliburton did, layups like LeBron did, KD did, Steph did. But that layup last night from Halliburton was just something that we haven't seen. Like, we've seen different layups, but when you say you can make a layup like that in a game that Halliburton did, Halliburton's layup was probably the highlight of the game, in my opinion. Halliburton's layup was probably the highlight of the game. And we can say, well, there's other players that did layups in the finals like that we seen that was amazing. Yeah, we could say that. But when you're honestly saying right now is that when you honestly is saying that teams aren't going to back down, like the Pacers aren't going to back down because they're kind of like a comeback team that isn't going to come back around. And both of these teams were fighting to the very end of this game to win game 4. Because now you got game 5 coming up. And like, when you have two superstars in Shai and Halliburton going against each other, both of these guys are just amazing players because we have Shai, who's a MVP this year in the finals. OKC had the best record. For OKC, it's going to take for them to win game 5. And I'll give my picks in a second. Is that for them to win game 5, it's going to take OKC a lot of time because from game 3 to game 1, they look tired. They look like tired. Like they weren't a team that just wasn't there in game 3, that was there for game 4. I don't know if OKC was just more ready and had more excitement to go at it in game 4. Because when it's like 7, I think the score at one point was like 72-79 in the third quarter at that point. And we didn't know who was going to win that game at this point. We didn't know who was going to win this game at this point. OKC looks like when they lose a game, OKC when they lose a game, and I'm being true here, OKC when they lose a game, it's like they're completely not a team that we've seen in the regular season. That is what they're completely like. They're completely a team that we are not seeing in the regular season. And what we saw last night was just a team that was ready to see a team that really wasn't ready to play. Like you had TJ McCollum last game play like Patrick Beverly. Play defense like Patrick Beverly. You had Mathurin go off for 27 in game 3. Off the bench. Now that we can say that OKC has a 18-2 record on this season, now that we can say OKC has a 18-2 record in the postseason on the road, Indiana is going to have to go back. The Pacers are going to have to go back to OKC and win a game 5. Because if you don't win in game 5, the big question is, okay, is this team going to have to win this game? Because you got 2 superstars in the finals, in Haliburton and Shea. You got 2 good teams. Like we've been saying all year long that we would have to, this new era of players, this new era. Like we're going to miss the old era of LeBron, Steph, KD, Giannis, Paul George once they retire. But when we are trying to get like a 7 different champion in the finals, the big question is who's going to win this? Because it honestly looks like we know the comeback season, the comeback that the Pacers can make. We know that the comeback that OKC can make. It's kind of hard to pick every single game that both of these teams go against each other, who's going to win this game? It's kind of hard to say, well, OKC is going to win this game. No, the Pacers are going to win this game. It's hard to say that because on a given day, on a given game, it's either going to be the Pacers or the Thunder that wins this. Like, I get that we don't have LeBron in the finals. I get that we don't have Steph, Giannis, KD. The list goes on and on. But when Shea joins a group with 131 points, and Iverson, Rick Barry, Shea is putting his, I know I'm getting, here's my take about Shea. It's Shea that is getting in the conversation. Because Shea has had 35-point games. Has had the most 35-point games. And when we see this OKC group, there is going to be a lot of questions. If this OKC group does not win the championship. Because of the fact of how can you, from game 1 to game 2 to game 3, game 4, drop 1 at home, get 1 on the road. Like, I don't think nobody at this point thought that the Pacers and OKC would be in the finals. I don't think nobody predicted that. Nobody predicted that. Nobody thought that. Because honestly, this isn't something that the Pacers aren't used to. The Pacers did drop a game 4 or game 3 in the second round. The Pacers did beat Milwaukee. The Pacers did beat the Cavaliers. The Pacers did beat the New York Knicks. We could say all year long that the Pacers at this point has had probably a good season overall. Because when we look at it, and we look at the box scores, which I'm about to get into. Like, for OKC side of things, Chet, 15 boards, 1 assist, 14 rebounds. J-Dub, 7 free and 27. Hardenstein, 6 free and 2. Shea, 35 points, 3 boards, no assists. Lou Dort, 3 sets. Alex Caruso had another 20-point game off the bench. Let me say this, and I know I'm about to get off topic here. It's that when we look at this team, the OKC Thunder, and when we look at the Pacers as well, we look at the Lakers, we look at the Cavs, we look at the Bucks, the Knicks, all of these teams, and we say we are either going to see Boston, we are either going to see either of these teams in the finals. But we did not affect that both of these teams would be in the finals. Some probably projected that Boston would be in the finals. Some probably would effective that the Cavs would be in the finals. Some will probably effective that the Lakers would be in the finals. But when we go back to the box scores from Game 4, you have Chet scoring 14 points. You have Hardenstein scoring 2, Shades scoring 35, Lu Dort 6, Alex Caruso coming off the bench and scoring 20 again. I think the one thing, and I'm going to say this because Alex Caruso, that trade for him to go to the OKC Thunder, I think OKC won that trade. OKC won the trade. They definitely won the trade between the Bulls and OKC. Because when that trade went down for Alex Caruso, for Josh Giddey, we could all look at it and say, wow, OKC is in the finals now. But on the other side of things, Siakam with 25 and 8. Halliburton with 18. Halliburton, that is what he's going to do. Halliburton is probably going to give you 18 to probably 20 points a night. TJ McCollum had 8 coming off the bench. I think this Pacers team has to go back and win a close game here. Because if you win a game here, if you win a game 5, and we could all say this, is that game 5s, you either are, this will change the factor because game 5 on Monday will change the factor of would OKC go up 3 games to 2, or will the Pacers go up 3 games to 2? That's going to change the factor of it, because when you look at this for a standpoint, it's that OKC isn't going to back down. OKC isn't going to back down. And we've seen the greats like Michael Jordan, like Magic, like LeBron, like Steph, like KD, like Giannis play in these finals play in the NBA Finals. And now it's Halliburton's turn. It's Shea's turn to be in the finals. Like, that's not going to change a difference to a point where we see this. Like, OKC shot the ball 37% from the field. From field goal range. OKC shot the ball 47%. From free, OKC only took free shots from free out of 16 times. The Pacers took 11 frees out of 36 from three-point land. From three-point land. OKC took 18.8 frees to Oklahoma City's Oklahoma City Thunder's 30 free throws. OKC got them there. Field goal range. OKC got them there. Points in the paint. OKC got them there. OKC had more steals this game. More steals. Like, this will probably be the turning factor where we see either OKC or the Thunder take a 3-2 lead. Because Game 4, both teams were, like, just going at it. We saw, like, at some point in the game, it be 30, like 72-79 in the third quarter with 3 minutes left. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to say that that the Thunder here walked away with a win. Because we can say that the Pacers out of all teams probably got the best comebacks. Guys, sub if you're new and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there. And stay blessed, everybody. And peace.